Well, you guys have been asking for it, and it will be returning to the channel shortly, and that is our Journeyman series. Now, if you don't know what the Journeyman series is, feel free to go check out the FIFA 16 and FIFA 17 versions. There are playlists on the channel. But this little video here is just to start the ball rolling, getting set up for our Journeyman series. So you'll have 2 votes today. This will start up my setup period for the Journeyman series, and then we'll have another voting video before we sort of get into the action on this Journeyman series. So let's just get straight into it. This will be a nice short video, just a couple of votes for you, and it'll give me a better idea and indication of which way we're going to take Journeyman this year. Alright, so the first thing that we need to address is obviously it is a Journeyman road to the World Cup. Now, I've got 2 options for you on how we choose our international side. We didn't do Road to the World Cup in the first Journeyman. We brought that in the second Journeyman. And what we did there was we waited until we got the first international job offer, just, you know, the first one that comes available, provided we could scout the country. We took that job and we ended up getting Finland. And then we just basically played our way through the career mode, did a couple of World Cups and built up Finland trying to win that World Cup. That was the, you know, the secondary objective of the Journeyman series. So that is one option to go through that again, take that first international job offer. The second one I want to offer to you for this series is for us to actually choose the country that we want to play our World Cup series with. So if you feel you guys want to have a vote on which country we do use, make sure you choose that option in the voting poll. It'll be up in the top right hand corner, I believe. It'll be a little bit tricky to do. Obviously, we'll have to wait until that job becomes available, but from day dot, we can start scouting and setting up, and hopefully that job comes around sooner rather than later. I don't want to be 6 seasons in still waiting for that job. There is the option to use the international job offer from the catalogue. But I particularly don't want to use that because there's only one in the catalogue, and I may want to use that for a future series on FIFA 18. So they're the 2 votes. Do you want us to use the first country that comes along, providing we can scout it, or do you want us to actually pick the country? Get voting up in the eye. The second scenario we need to cover here for the Journeyman is which way are we going to play it this time. So in the first Journeyman series, we played like a Euro-style challenge, which I'll get into a little bit more just shortly. And then the second style was an intercontinental sort of campaign. So they will be the 2 votes. Let me just quickly cover what these 2 are if you're not familiar with a Journeyman. So basically we start in a team in one area. Now let's start with the Euro campaign, where we'll start in Ireland, as they're probably the lowest rated sort of league. And then we'll have 5 groups that we need to move through the Journeyman. So this is where you sort of get into different competitions. You are strengthening up your World Cup academy all the way through, and you know there's other things going on. So the Euro one, we start in Ireland, then we have to win the league. You have to win the league in that group, and then we'll move on to the next group. So group 2 will have the Norwegian, the Swedish, the Austrian and the Danish leagues. So we basically have to keep going, look for offers, and the first, you know, offer that comes up from one of those 4 clubs, providing we've won the league in Ireland, then we can move on to Group 2. We do the same thing, get into that league in Group 2, win the league, then we can move on to Group 3. Group 3 is Scotland, Switzerland, Poland and Belgium. So we get a team in one of those leagues, try and win the league, then we can move on to Group number 4. Group number 4 is Turkey, the Netherlands, Portugal and Russia. So, you know, moving up into some more prestigious leagues, would you say? Win the league there, and then we move on to the final group, which is Group 5, which is England, France, Germany, Italy and Spain. You know, all the big marquee sort of competitions. So we go through, it's all youth-based and Regens-based. We're not signing real players, although with the World Cup Academy, we can use the real players in that squad, of course. The key objective is to get through the 5 groups and win a World Cup within this series. Now, it's very fast-paced. We generally simulate a lot of the games. We play 1 game per month for the league competition, so it's really about scouting heavy, scouting hard, and getting that team built up as quickly as possible with the Youth Academy and Regens, of course. And trying to win as many league titles as we can with our Journeyman manager. If we get stuff like the Champions League and stuff like that, we generally simulate through that. If we make the final, sometimes I'll play that one as well, but very heavily focused here on the World Cup kind of stuff. Once we hit a World Cup, we do play all the qualification rounds and the knockout rounds and that, and trying to win that World Cup with our Youth Academy squad. So if you did watch the last one, we did pretty well with Finland. We didn't actually win the World Cup. I think we went to the quarters or the semis in our first crack. Still using quite a few real players, but a few youth players really came through and made a difference. We had a Scout Future Star, which played for Italy, and well, obviously with our Scout Future Star, we signed him in Season 1 for our first team, and he's the only player that we're allowed to take him along. I will have a setup video before we start out to give you all the rules and stipulations of what you need to follow if you want to have a go yourself. But this one is generally just a quick video, get voting on those 2 options. That'll allow me to set up for the next voting video, and then I'll probably have a setup guide, and then we'll look to get the Journeyman underway in the next week or 2. I'm probably going to slip it in maybe 3 days a week, like we had the World League All-Stars, keep the Youth Edition going on the daily. That seems to be working pretty well, and look forward to punching into Christmas. So thanks very much for checking this video out. Hope you're keen for some Journeyman action once again. I know a lot of you have been asking for it. Get voting. We'll have some more videos up for you shortly, and we will see you in the next one. I'm Sparring DK. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and you have a good one.